get it. I'm trying to put money in your pocket, that crypto wallet, that bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. 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 I'm always right.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Bleaves Crypto Show. My name is Bleaves. We are here from Bleaves Studios in Cleveland, just outside of Chicago, to bring you all the crypto news that you need to get you through the day. Not only are we doing crypto news today, but we've got something else that's going on, and it is a testament to the fact that we might be looking at, this is not going to be good for investors, but it's going to be great for you and me. As not investors, I want to say. It's complicated, but I'm going to try to simplify it for you because it feels like Donald Trump might get a win. Feels like something might be happening, okay? And this is going to change the U.S. economy dramatically in very short order, at least for you. Maybe not for everybody, but at least for us. And by the way, look at that. We got Bleaves in the background now. I'm redoing this entire background to include different videos of myself. I didn't get it exactly right. There's a little bit of sketchiness to it. I haven't gotten it completely figured out yet, but I'm working on it. So hopefully it'll be kind of cool by the time that it's done. All right, guys, make sure you hit the like button on your way in, and let's get after it, because number one, the Kobayashi letter says this: breaking, hedge funds net long options on WTI crude fell by 29,562 contracts to 49,000 in the week ending Tuesday, the lowest since 2009. Long positions have now dropped by around 120,000 contracts over the last few weeks. What does that mean? That means that oil prices are intending to come way down. This comes as the IEA forecasts a record supply surplus next year. Oil inventories are expected to build at 2.96 million barrels per day, surpassing even the average buildup during 2020. So we're about to see this country, we're about to see this world flushed in oil for the foreseeable future going into next season. Now, in the event that that does happen, then you can expect to finally see some wins for the Trump administration. And by the way, I know for some of you, even the losses are wins because you're in a cult. I understand that, but you're not winning, okay? When I go look and I start to compare prices and I say, look, let's compare prices in January to prices today. Everything's up, okay? No matter how you like it, everything's up. And I know it's because of Joe Biden. He the one that did it. He the one that made everything like that. I know. But I mean, these are prices that we haven't seen. These are crazy prices that we haven't seen, so out of whack since 2020. I don't remember who the president was back then, but whoever the president was in 2020, that's the guy that destroyed everything. You know what I mean? I'm just messing with you. Stop crying. Please stop crying. Dude, Jesus Christ, stop crying. Just stop crying. I wasn't being serious. Quit crying, okay? Because you're crying, okay? And you got to stop, okay? It's just a dude. It's an 80-year-old orange, okay? And it's got decay all over it. Come on. Chill. Anyway, so the short oil trade getting too crowded. Here's what's going on right now. When they're no longer going long on oil, that means that they are anticipating a massive move to the downside. That means oil prices are going to become less prohibitive. That means that it's going to be much cheaper to produce. That means gas prices come down. That means diesel prices come down. That means delivery prices come down. That means inflation prices will come down. This is the win that the Trump administration has been looking for It's the win that the markets that are non-oil related have been waiting for. This could be a massive move and a massive improvement in prices in a very quick series of, by the way, when I say this, don't forget that my electric cost, oh no, because one is you got it from this one place is not in the real place, because that's not what it was. Not even close. It's called the FRED, the Federal Reserve Economic Data, the stuff that's created by Donnie Dingbat himself. That's where it comes from. By month. Let's do it. Here's your data sets. Last one just came out in August. That's price going up, 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 up and away. That's price going up, 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 up and away. By the way, that's price going up, up, up and away. Here's a 5-year price, just in case you were wondering. It's still going up, 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 up and away, right? The only time that it calmed down for any length of time was right here in February of 2023, as it went up slower than anticipated. And now right here, April of 2025, because it flatlined there for 30 days and then boom, spike, 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 spike. It's at the top of the range. Doobie doobie doo. Doobie doobie doo. Doobie 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 doo. I know it hurts. I know it hurts. Oh, God. Buy yourself a steak if you can still afford it, though, and you'll be okay. I mean, I can afford it. But I don't know if you can. I mean, you know, it's crazy, right? It's crazy. That's even crazy too, right? We're defending it. We're like, hey, you know, high prices are actually lower if you look at it from this perspective, right? I don't like the brown people being in my country, especially not when they're illegal. You know what I mean? Like totally. Or whatever it is that you say. I don't know. You say some wackadoo shit in your brain and you look at the prices going up and say up is actually down. It's like the upside down from Stranger Things, bruh. Or whatever it is that you say. It's not reality, but okay. Hey, guess what? You can at least eat eggs again, right? So, thanks, chickens. If chickens are even your name, chickens aren't real. You know what I mean? They're not real. Chickens are just spies for the CIA. They're like mechanical things. The meat, they didn't come from chickens. Chickens are here to spy on us. Anyway, so oil prices are going to be coming down. That will mean that every kind of price will start coming down. And that will be, look, some of that originally is going to be offset by tariffs. Tariffs are going to cause prices to go up a little bit over time. They're already going up. You know, we're already seeing price spikes, but here's the thing. Once they've priced it in and the companies for a short period of time were absorbing that price, but they answer to stockholders, and the stockholders, if you don't pass that price on to the consumers, then the stockholders, they will vote you out and they will replace you as a CEO with somebody else. So you are required to pass that on. So what you will see is you will see a little bit of a price increase. I mean, we're not done yet with a bit of inflation. We'll see that. But once we start to reverse course a little bit, and it'll be based on oil. Once we start to reverse course just a little bit, then the next thing that you know, prices will start to come down. And the Trump administration will finally actually be able to take a victory lap that's not, you know, made up and manufactured. Maybe, just maybe, things are going to finally fall into place. And that, by the way, means that we are going to have a massive move. Now, if you are a fan of DevE, this might be the biggest news that precursor, by the way, this might be the biggest precursor to an announcement that you've ever seen, because NASDAQ is now seeking SEC approval to list tokenized stocks. NASDAQ has filed a proposed rule change with the US SEC aiming to tokenize stocks and be able to list them on its platform. Its platform. Who's the platform going to be run by? In line with this, NASDAQ proposes trading of these securities in either trad form or tokenized form using a blockchain. Furthermore, NASDAQ detailed how these tokenized stocks will trade, suggesting they should trade similarly to traditional stocks that they have the same shareholder rights as the underlying security. The exchange operator also proposes to label these tokenized stocks as such so that it is clear to market participants that they want to settle their trades. It also proposes that tokenized stocks receive the same priority as traditional stocks when executing orders. Notably, this move comes just days after Galaxy Digital became the first NASDAQ-listed company to tokenize its common stock. It is worth mentioning that the SEC has already clarified before now that tokenized stocks are still securities, suggesting that these kinds of stocks will still get the same treatment as traditional assets. Meanwhile, the SEC had earlier launched Project Crypto as part of plans to promote tokenization of stocks and bring the U.S. market on chain. As such, the move from NASDAQ might be one that the commission is open to. Moreover, Paul Atkins, okay, that is not true at all. That is not true at all. I'm not a Trump fan, but that's not true. Okay. Joe Biden did approve the Bitcoin ETF. He did approve the Ethereum ETF. So sure, credit where credit's due, but let's be honest and take a step back. And remember, the reality is he was forced to do that because of lawsuits. Like it was not a situation. It was that he couldn't stop it. They were losing their cases against all of these different companies. They were even losing the XRP law. There was no reason for them to stop it. So they couldn't stop it. So that's not a feather in their cap. Okay. In my opinion. And by the way, I would also say that a lot of the gains that we got in crypto prior, look, our last altcoin season was in the Biden administration. We haven't had an altcoin season in the Trump administration at all. I will admit that part. But also, I think it's going to go even higher. All right. I think we're about to have a real altcoin season. Matter of fact, the altcoin season index has given us some new data so that we can now look at it and we can get an idea. And when you look at it, you're going to be like, oh, shit, like this is the largest drought. So, Derek, if you want to say that Donald Trump has been the worst altcoin person in history, that would be fair to say. That would actually be fair to say based on a certain series of numbers that we're seeing based upon how many crypto projects seem to be dead. You can make an argument for it, but I don't know that it holds up in 6 months. I don't think that it will. The SEC and CFTC plan to host a roundtable on September 29 in 21 days, where they will also discuss the possibility of 24/7 markets. This is the game changer that you've been waiting for. 24/7 markets are going to create just an absolute game changer for stocks. And it's going to change the way, by the way, NASDAQ floor, empty. New York Stock Exchange floor, empty. Everybody's doing it digital already. So remember that time where you used to go down onto the floor and you would see all these people and you would ring the bell and there would just be guys everywhere yelling like, sell, buy, run it up my butthole, or whatever it is that they say. I don't know what they say. But that's no longer the case. There's very few people, just a bunch of old guys now sitting on that floor. Everybody else, they're trading from their desks, as I was told is the way that you say a desk in Chicago. Desks. So here we go. Next up, Clarity Act draft. There is a brand new draft of the Clarity Act, which would shield Bitcoin and crypto developers from past liabilities. And this is a huge development, okay? The U.S. Senate Banking Committee's most recent version of the Clarity Act, Bitcoin and crypto developers will be protected from being charged with operating an unlicensed money transmitting business moving forward and retroactively. Now, in the event that that happens, by the way, guess what? Do Kwon is innocent. There's going to be a lot of people that have been found guilty over the years, especially somebody like Ross Ulbricht, who is already free. But who's the guy that created Tornado Cash? All of these things are going to be clarified here with the Clarity Act. So for the moment, maybe you can make that argument. But when these laws are passed, you will no longer be able to make that argument because crypto will go out of its fucking mind. All right. So some of these things have changed dramatically. In this language, if this language is included in a version of the bill that is enacted into law, Tornado Cash developer Roman Storm who was found guilty, stands to benefit. Storm has alluded to the notion that he plans to appeal the verdict, as per Ellie Tourette's reporting. If clarity becomes law and the language regarding retroactive developer protection is included in the draft and the bill that passes, his legal team would theoretically have no issue winning at the appellate level. So this would mean on appeal that Roman Storm, who went to prison for creating Tornado Cash, not for doing anything, by the way, but for creating it, would suddenly be a free man. And a lot of people in crypto who have been prosecuted over the years will be free to do whatever it is that they need to do. Now, they'll have to be in compliance with the laws, obviously. You break these laws, you go to jail, you know, or you pay a fine. I mean, it's white-collar crime. We don't send them to jail. Come on. You know, that's for the quote-unquote murderers. But could be crazy. Could be a crazy time. What about the weak stance on DeFi? We need a weaker stance on DeFi anyway. I mean, we've been pretty tight on it under the Biden administration regime, as people like to say. Oh, God. Did you know? I can tell you something. I'm going to be honest with you, and you're going to hate it. You're going to hate it because you're in a cult, okay? You're going to hate this. But did you know that from 2016 to today, the only constitutional freedom that you lost was under Donald Trump when he banned bump stocks, which was overturned by the Supreme Court? And you can now use bump stocks again. Did you know that that was the only attack on the Constitution that we've seen in that period of time? Now, if you read far right literature, which I assume is written in crayon, then you will see that an attack on our personal speeches, which is stupid because you're on some business's platform. You don't have free speech on somebody else's property. You don't have free speech as an employee of an organization in that you represent that organization. You're not free to just say whatever the fuck you want to say. You're not even free to do that when walking down a street. Your constitutional rights that you pretend have been violated, they don't apply to social media, dum-dum. You're not allowed to yell fire in the theater when there's no fire. When the fire's only pretend and it's AI generated. I'm sorry, what I meant to say was the election was stolen. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Oh, God, storm the Capitol and say that you were innocent. Say it. Say it. God. Look, guys, it's just ridiculous. All your crybaby bullshit. All right. Yeah. The only attack that you've ever had was Donald Trump attacking your ability to turn your gun into an automatic weapon. Or a semi-automatic weapon, I should say. So that's the only one. You're not entitled to say whatever you feel like you want to say on a private business's platform. There are rules that you have to follow. So quit being a crybaby, put on your big boy panties, and stop being a little bitch. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. You don't like it, but you know what I'm talking about. All right, Mix is up 200% on the day. Now, we've been talking about Mix for about 2 weeks now, off and on. Somebody brought it up the other day. We put it on the radar, and all of a sudden it broke out 200%. But what about for the week? For the week, it's up like 542%. For the month, 334%. So if you got in on that one, you made a nice little win. Also, the meme core, whatever it's called, is now at 3 billion market cap, up 300%. OKX. This is the crypto for OKX, the exchange, up 300%. Crow up 60% on the month. Like, we're starting to see some really good movement. We're starting to see some really good breakouts. Moving on here, we've got Open now up 160%. By the way, Open, does that not look like Hydra? Does that not look like Hydra? Is it just me? Okay. Regulation should come in to prevent fraudsters like Saitama, Grove, Mononoke, and others from I don't know that all of them are fraudsters in the traditional sense. I don't really know if that's the case. And here's the thing. I think that some of these businesses, actually think that they're going to build something and it's going to work. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that like Saitama, I'm not sure about that one. You know what I mean? I'm not sure about that one. And I'm not sure, but to be fair, I'm not sure about Grove or Mononoke. I mean, listen, if I say, hey, I'm going to launch my own blockchain and my blockchain sucks, well, I failed. But that doesn't mean that I wasn't looking at maybe I could do this, maybe I could create something. The good part about crypto is it gives you an opportunity to create a thriving business. Now, when you look deeper and you look at meme coins, and by the way, there are successful meme coins that are more of a scam than Saitama, Grove, or Mononoke. I mean, Pepe still doesn't do anything. Nothing. Dogecoin doesn't do anything. SHIB at least has a layer 2 blockchain. You know what I mean? Now, your argument could be, well, Doge is actually Doge chain. It's actually a blockchain by rights because it is a coin. I mean, I guess there's nothing built on it. Nothing. It's not used for anything. It's old. It's out of date. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing to it. So, there are a lot of them that are even worse. We got a meet in the house. By the way, I gave you guys a crypto last night, and it's starting to run, by the way. It was starting to run this morning a little bit. I got a bag from these guys the other day. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it on here. 4 and 500. We're going to get into the XVM. Let's do this. XVM. Now, it's not found in the top 1,000 yet. Let me show it to you so you guys can see it. It's called Volt, by the way. It's called Volt, and it's currently at 47 million market cap. The volume is $9 million. Look at that right there. All right, so this thing is broken out completely. I got some tokens from these guys a couple of days ago. We made a video. The video released at 8 o'clock this morning. When I talked to these guys, I talked to these guys. They think it's going to go to a much higher level than it is right now. They think that this right here, I mean, look at the breakout from this dip that they had is already starting to make its way up. They think that by the end of today, 250 million market cap. That's not my words, by the way. That's their words. They're thinking that this is going to be an exponential run. Now, XVM, what is it? XVM is the extensible virtual machine. Extensible virtual machine is, let's go to the website over here. It's called Volt RWA, supercharging the next generation of RWA on XRP. So it's on the XRP ledger, but the contract, everything that launched is on Solana. Now, we're pioneering the tokenization of real-world assets on both Ripple and Solana networks, creating unprecedented opportunities for value creation and transfer. All right, so this is going to be on both chains. Right now, very active on Solana. And it's supposed to be not just a bridge between the two, but a fully formed real-world asset tokenization platform. They've built so far, it's available on Jupyter, Phantom, and Dex Screener, but with the volume that it's getting, here's what's going on, okay? Just to be clear here. The volume on this was something like $50 million 2 days ago, okay? It's $10 million today with over $1 million in liquidity. It has over 20,000 holders now. It continues to have a nice little run. So they think 250 million is going to be the next move here. Again, I don't know that that's going to be the case or not, but that's a pretty aggressive move right there from where it is, about a 5x. So if you're interested in taking a shot on it, then by all means, they seem to think that they're going to hit 250 million market cap today. They're up 34% in the last 6 hours, 4% in the last 24 hours. But breaking it down by day, look at what it's done on the daily right now. It's not something that you want to, I wouldn't bet against it. It keeps going. It keeps going and going and going. So maybe that's the end of it. I don't know. I think people saw it. They saw a runner. And, like, again, I don't know for sure, but they do think that 250 million by the end of the day is what's going to happen. And apparently they got some big announcements and stuff like that. I don't know what they are. What I know is when I look at it from, let me zoom back out and say, well, you know what? On the surface, seems to be a lot going on here. On the surface, but you got 4,635 followers. Kind of, move around here. RWA takeover is inevitable. XVM takeover is inevitable. By 2030, 10% of global GDP could be tokenized. This isn't a crypto cycle. This is the next financial area. That's true. What are they going to be? Are they going to be part of it or not? Now, some of this to me, kind of a hype thing, but here is their GitHub. So XVM is building the future of RWA, the fastest growing sector in crypto with the most potential upside. Follow us along on our official GitHub as we build out the future of finance. Now, I want you guys to just take a step back here. And I'm saying that this could go absolutely nuts, but you really kind of have to look at it from, here's the contract, 21,859 holders in a couple days. How many different cryptos have we talked about here that don't even get close to this level of adoption? And what does 21,859 investors, what does that do? Okay, that creates an army. That creates an army of people willing to go absolutely crazy to promote their project. And that's usually the project that breaks out. 21,859 holders is a lot. And they've only got 1 billion tokens. So, guys, I don't know if it's going to happen or not. I don't know if it's going to do anything. But at 1 billion market cap, if it were to go to 1 billion market cap, and I don't even know how many tokens I have. I'll be honest with you. I don't know yet. I'm up like 3x off of it. So it's been a nice little run for me. I have 16,300. I have 16,300 tokens. So if it goes to 1 billion market cap, it's going to be worth $16,300. So, I'll take that as a nice little win. So see what happens. If it goes to 10 billion market cap, it's 116,000, 160,000, whatever it is. So if it does anything like the hype machine, and remember, a lot of this stuff is hype. We're still in the hype phase. If it does anything, and by the way, if we're going into altcoin season, this could be one of those crazy runners. So I would get a bag, look for a dip. Use your resources, use your charts, figure out your entry position on it. I'm not sure that where we're sitting right now is the entry position, but I'm also not sure that it's not. If I were a gambling man, then I would say that, we got this nice little breakout right here. You got up here to the top, you broke down into the Fibonacci. You got a full Fibonacci breakdown. Then you got to break back up. Looks like it's going to be 236. If we, boom, 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 boom. Boom. This is what I tell you happens every single time. You got to run up to the top. I think this kind of candle up here to 120 million, I think that's fictitious. I think that's just some kind of, bot, in my opinion. I don't know for sure, but that's a lot right there. That would have triggered a huge amount of buys. And I guess that seems kind of wild to me. But let's just assume that this right here is the top, where the actual top is, because guess what? It goes down to the 618, breaks back down to the 236. Now it's breaking down to the 382, already hit that and reversed off of it. This could be a breakout. Could be a breakout. So if it doesn't, well, if you didn't get into it, no big deal. The money, they've already made a bunch of money off of it. You know what I mean? Like I don't know what it's going to do. They've made, a lot of people have made life-changing gains. I saw a guy on TikTok, one of the influencers. I'm in an influencer KOL channel with them. One of the guys there put out a video. He's like, this is my last $5,000. I'm going to put it into this new project. And now it's 120 something thousand or something like that. So, you know, a lot of people who've made a pretty good amount of money off of it over the last couple of days. So I don't know what happens. But again, looking around here, I don't know what you think about the day, but whew, let's see what happens. Fear and greed index neutral still. This is Volt. I was going to cover it, but I went ahead and got ahead of myself. Zero bull market indicators, 100% hold mode. Just all you have to do right now is just continue to hold, continue to accumulate new assets. Again, spread yourself out. Okay. And then take your wins when you get your wins. Also, by the way, OM, I continue to accumulate. I continue to buy more OM every single time. And guess what? Having a nice little upward momentum, not big, but a nice little upward momentum today, making me feel better about that choice. If you're not already, become a member of the channel. I gave you the XVM in in the chat yesterday night. And by the way, somebody did ask me again, you know, why didn't you give it to us like 2 days ago when you got the tokens? It was the weekend. I was doing weekend shit and I wasn't looking at it. And Sunday was my day to start researching and stuff like that. Then I started looking at it and I was like, oh my God, like I really like what I'm seeing here. Okay. And so then I do it and I'm getting ready to send the message to you guys. And then I look at the chart and I'm like, oh shit. Like it broke out 3x from where I got the tokens the other day. So, but again, that will happen. And by the way, here's the thing, to the person that asked me that question, if I had not done that, if I had not done any research and I sent it out to you and it dumped to $1 million from 50 million, you'd be down 90% right now and you'd be screwed. So it's more important to be, you know, to make sure that it's safe before I do anything, in my opinion. So that was really the reason why. Like I was nervous about, I mean, you know, look, I never know what it is that I've got and I want to do a good job of checking it out. And that's going to mean that sometimes I'm not going to throw it at you and just be like, good luck. You know what I mean? Cause I don't want you to get wrecked. I'd rather you make a 2X and that's it, and have the ability to go out and find another 2X than lose 80% of your bag on some kind of crazy dump that we weren't anticipating. Like it just doesn't make any sense to me to do that. So, but anyway, $4.99 a month to become a member of the channel. Devi, this to me, for those of you that are not understanding, that NASDAQ listing to me is like the biggest, craziest thing that could send Dev E to the moon. And now we're going to talk about the bad. And I'm going to show you this and it's going to be like, oh shit, what happened? And I'm going to move to the side here. And so the ETF outflow on Friday, 160 million. Get ready for it. Ethereum, 104,000 Ethereum, 446 million in Ethereum outflows. That is the 5th straight day. 4 of them massive, over 100 million outflows. This is the profit taking on the Ethereum ETF right now. It will reverse, but again, I told you, I thought, you know, we're going to have a reversal. It's going to start breaking out pretty bigly, and it just hasn't yet. And we had just a crazy, crazy, crazy outflow over the last couple of days, and a lot of profit taking along the way. I mean, that's really what it is. BlackRock being the one that dumped the most. And when I say that, BlackRock does not dump, just so everybody understands. When I say BlackRock dumped, BlackRock didn't really dump. Investors in BlackRock decided to sell for profit. That's what happened. So now that we clarified that, let's move on. All right, so chart action, we're up $59-60 billion on the day, having a nice little move. Bitcoin up a little bit on the day. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense here. So what I've done is I've kind of zoomed out here on the weekly. We're going to move back to the daily. The daily has been bearish for a few days. The yellow is the 50. The purple is the 200. So I have a feeling that we're going to see a break to the 50 at 114, 115,000. And then I think we're coming down to about this range right here. Like the more I look at this, the more I see this over here So, and I want to take what I'm talking about. This little top range right there is right there. This little retest is right there. Went higher, but it's a retest. Then we had a big dump, and then we had another retest. We had a big dump. We had another retest. It was smaller. Then we had another dump, and then we had another retest. We have a dump here. We had a retest here. Then we have the dagger. I feel like we haven't seen that dagger yet. That dagger could stop at 105,000, but the more likely scenario would be at least the 200 MA, which is currently at 101,000. So I'm bearish in the short term right now on what I see on these charts. So when we're bouncing off of the 50, we're bullish. When we're bouncing under the 50, we're bearish, and looks pretty bearish to me right now. And also we could be seeing, if it dumps, we could see this happen while this is happening, and we could see a death cross right here by the end of September. Now, remember Coinbase said that we're going to have an altcoin season in September, and that still could play out. We could still see it happen. Bitcoin dominance is breaking down for the last couple of days. We're still continuing on a downward trend, and we're at 59 in the altcoin season index. Let's go look at that real quick. It's currently at 59, but look right here. Days since the last altcoin season. So anybody who says that Donnie Dingbat is bad for crypto and bad for altcoins, I mean, yeah. The average days between seasons is 66 days. It's been 272 days. So, and I mean, look, Trump's been in office for what, 9 months? 9 times 3, because it's 30, right? 9 times 30 is 270. So we've never seen an altcoin season under Donald Trump. So that says something. But we have seen a Bitcoin season, and it was not that far away. So longest streak without a season is 486 days, though. So maybe we'll get a nice little reversal. All right. Average length of the season is 18 days for altcoin season. Once we get into 75, once we get up there, we got 18 days. The longest season was 117, and the total days that it's been is 404. 404, not found. Oof. So in looking at it, I mean, maybe we've got a breakout happening. We're sitting at, I mean, we were at 64 a couple of days ago, broke back down. I think that Ethereum I think Bitcoin has to run before Ethereum runs. So I'm kind of looking at it from that standpoint. Ethereum is starting to look weak, despite going up to the top of this range right now. Again, if I'm looking at it from an impulse move perspective, I'm looking at, a pivot to a pivot. We haven't broken down at all. So a 10% correction is not much of a correction. Like, that is not much of a correction. Even if we say, well, that was another impulse move, let's call this the impulse move right here. Even if we look at that, that's not much. That's still that 45. The 45 is a popular line, but matter of fact, we're going to put best in there. That would be the best breakout spot. But I would say that, we've got some more downward momentum to deal with before. Yeah, I mean, look at the 200 MA. 200 MA is currently sitting at 2,745. This to me looks like down. This to me looks pretty weak right now. Ethereum is looking weak. All right. All the indicators right now are saying that it's looking kind of weak. So maybe we'll see something happen, but most likely to me is that breakdown to 4,000 and then down into that 3,582 range, 3,600 range. I would set some bids at those ranges and accumulate a little bit, and I'm pretty sure you're going to get there and you're going to get it. Now, if that doesn't happen, then that 50 MA, we're still bullish on the 50 MA. We could see another test of it, a breakdown here to 41.54, somewhere in that range, and then we could see another strong spike off of it. Maybe we're just in a big impulse move that's taking a short break, and we're not done yet. If we consider if we consider an Elliott wave, it doesn't seem right. Right? It doesn't seem like it doesn't seem right. We've got the bearish divergence. everything looks bearish to me. However, look at Solana. Solana absolutely breaking out right now. 200 and it was 217 the other day. It's up to 214, 215 right now. OM, by the way, let's get into the 1 hour so you can see it actually. So for the last couple of hours, remember I started to buy a bunch more when we got down here into that 19-cent range to change my DCA. I think my DCA is down to 30 cents right now. So I'm in a much better spot right now. Seems like it's in the, we got the golden cross right there on the hourly. So that should trigger a continuation of a move. On the daily, we're not even close, by the way. All right. So it's going to take a lot to make a breakout from here. I mean, when you look at it from this context right now, 25 cents basically is where that 50 MA is. So are we going to make it to the 50 MA at 25 cents? That's the question on, I think, everybody's mind with OM right now. And most people who are holding OM, like myself, are looking at this and saying to themselves, well, you know what? Let's see it break before we start to say it. So I don't know if we're going to say, I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but it looks like the reversal could be in. But we've seen the reversal before and it was not. It just ended up in a massive sell-off at 40 cents. So, the question would be, do we hit there and can we break above and can we get another test up here at 40 cents? If we get another test at 40 cents, how far down do we reject? The likely rejection there would be down to 30 right there. And if that were to happen, then we would get a breakout to 50 cents. So I think the OM chart's actually pretty simple at this point. It's all based on right now breaking above that 50 MA. So we'll see what happens there. Devi has had a nice little move for the last couple of days as a reversal. And I told you guys I expected to break out to about 75 cents, 70, 75 cents in the next little while. And it started a move and then it just got undercut by, sellers are still stepping in and selling. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find this for you guys because it's wild. Somebody posted this. Where is that guy? That's not it. It's going to be the other one right here. There it is. Okay. I can show you this. You're going to be like, what the F? This is somebody who's buying and selling on the Devi chart. Have you ever seen a worse trader in your life? Look at where he's selling every single time. Like, oh my God, how bad at this can you be? Do you know what I mean? And by the way, it's a large holder. They're selling the bottom over and over again and buying the top over and over again. It is absolutely wild. Anyway, that person sold 8 times, 9 times, 10 times, 11 times. They sold 11 times yesterday. Like that is probably the worst trader in the history of trading that you've ever seen. I said it has to be a bot. Can't be a real person. Like nobody's that fucking dumb, right? And they said, no, here's all the bots. It can't be. It actually has to be a trader. I'm like, maybe it's a team member. I don't know. Like maybe they're paying bills or something like that. And they're like, nope, we got those wallets too. So Devi has the worst trader that's ever existed trading Devi at this point. Is all I can say there. Like, oh my God, how bad can you be at this? You know what I mean? By the way, worse than that. So anyway, we're starting to get where it looks like, by the way, because move down, maybe a little move upwards, and you got a golden cross breaking out in September. And then that's when we get that big move. Maybe we'll see that happen. Maybe we won't. I don't know. The fact that NASDAQ is now doing something is a good sign. But now the question is, what about the rest of the market? Like, what is the, when does, by the way, I'm going to be honest with you guys. One of the things that absolutely annoys me is the guy's name is Will Stewart. He's the he's an advisor for Devi. Now, I mistakenly at one point thought that he was like a marketing guy or something like that. And the reason for that is I guess he was never announced as the chief marketing officer or anything like that. But I feel like I was watching one of the lives and I heard Tom say something about, Will Stewart's on the phone with a lot of these different companies and stuff like that, pitching us and marketing the project. And I thought, oh, that must make him the marketing guy. Or when I was originally partnered with them, the month that I stopped being a partner with them, again, they never told me. They just, stopped paying me. But on that day, I feel like I reached out to somebody who said, well, we have a new marketing guy. And then the day after, maybe they announced Will Stewart or something like that. So I don't know what the case was. Doesn't really matter. But I mistakenly thought that he was a marketing guy, but he's owner of a different company. And he made a post on, I want to say it was LinkedIn or something like that. Had nothing to do with Devi. It just made me feel weird. Like, why is the guy who's supposed to be the linchpin for Devi, the billionaire, this is the first guy that got investments out of like Steve Jobs and Steve Ballmer and all these different people. Like, this is a major Silicon Valley guy. Why is he not talking about Devi ever? You know what I mean? So that has me wondering exactly what was going on there. And I don't know the answer to that, but it's weird. It was absolutely weird. I also said that, I wanted to ask Tom Anderson tough questions like that. Like, why is Will Stewart not really communicate? Like we think that, we talked about this guy being on the advisory team or whatever the case may be. And why is it that he never mentions Devi? Like, why is this never a part of it? Why is, what I mean? And I don't have an answer for that. And he said that he feels like he's already being asked tough questions by Austin. And, we'll see what happens there. Anyway, Pepe's up 3%. VeChain had a nice little spike up 3% on the day. For those of you that didn't see, there you go. A nice little 3% increase on it. Bounced off of the 50. And by the way, look at this. You almost had the golden cross right there, and it broke down. You almost had that golden cross right there, and instead it broke down. Like, how poetic is that? Now, question is, can you get a surge in the next couple of days? And if you get a surge, you rip up above, and then maybe you break out. So VeChain on the verge, I think, if we look at that, if you can get down to 2 cents one more time, 2.2 cents, good opportunity. But again, if the market is going to break down, like I said, it's going to break down, set yourself a buy order at 2 cents, and let's see what happens there. Ondo, again, same thing, having a little 3% pump. SWI, again, a little 3% pump. API, look, I got into API again at $1. I got in at $1. As a matter of fact, it was exactly, because the bid was at exactly $1. And then it went back up to like 114. And I was like, oh, I don't think so. I'm going to hold on to that for a little bit longer. Just see if we don't break out to the upper side of this range right here. Maybe we get a nice little reversal and rip right into there. What I might be looking at in this context is, because it came down to the 786, what I would be looking for is a move to $1.50, and then at $1.50 probably dumping a little bit, because that's the 236. So I'm going to set an ask at $1.50 for the whole bag and see what happens there. And if it breaks down from there, we get up here. If it breaks down there, it should come back down into the dollar range, because that will be a rejection off the 236. And that'll be a good sign for a lack of the continuation of that move. So if that happens, then, maybe some opportunity right there to accumulate at an even cheaper price. So I'm going to take the risk here. So again, I'm going to set an ask at $1.50, right about there, and then hope for a move somewhere down here into this range as a dump before a breakout. So we'll see what happens there. Pendle having a nice little recovery, up 5.73%. ZBCN, the Zebek network, is at 10.5% gain on the day. MXC is down quite a bit. This is Moonchain. This really looks like it's bot farmed to me. Like, it doesn't seem like there's really anything going on this Moonchain right now. But again, no disrespect to Moonchain. I think it needs, I think we need an altcoin season for these kind of things to really start to break out. Definity is down at the bottom of the range. I'm gonna at this point, I'm not partnered with them anymore. I think that I'm gonna sell. I haven't set any kind of ask price, but I think somewhere in that 45-cent range right there, up near the top of this sort of zone right there. I think I'm going to set a sell order right there and see what happens. And then I'm going to set another bid at around 23, 24, 25 cent if it comes up to that range. So I think that'll be an opportunity to make a few bucks off of it. So I'll make a few bucks here. Then it'll come back down and I'll buy a bigger bag, and then I'll wait to see if it doesn't break out. If it has a nice little run, then fantastic. If it doesn't have a nice little run, I don't know. But as a real world asset, as a Forex trading tool, I think that the future is going to be incredibly bright right here. I don't know. Matter of fact, last couple of days, I haven't seen them talking or saying anything. So either they're working on something or they have nothing working. I don't know what the case is. Matter of fact, Manu, the person that brought me in, hasn't replied in a few days. So I don't know if there's a reason for that or not. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Luna Classic, I gave you guys 62. The video's coming out. It'll be out at 1 o'clock today. But let me pull this up here. I think it's going to reject at 62. It's already rejecting off of the 50 MA right now. I expect to see it come down before it goes up, and then I expect to see it break above, and then that's when you get the potential breakout. But again, just like we were talking about the other day, or just a few minutes ago on VeChain, we got real close to a golden cross, and then it rejected immediately off of that golden cross. So looks like manipulation. I don't know. Anyway. All right, that's going to be the time, guys. I got to go. I got to get going for the day. For those of you that don't know, I took some in the morning when I wake up. I'm going to tell you guys a little secret here. In the morning when I wake up, I usually take a lemonade energy strip. These right here. I either use this one right here, which is it's at Walmart. It's at Walmart over here. I get one of these, and I get a pack of them, or I get the pomegranate, whatever. And then I put that in a drink, and I add in some creatine and maybe some beta alanine if I'm going to work out. But that's what I've been doing. And then I started using, I think it was called Hyde. Yeah, I started using Hyde Energy, and I would add that in because it had a couple different things that I liked that were in it. And I was like, you know what, this is actually going to be good. And it was also available at Walmart as well. So I thought, what a great idea. So I started putting that in my drink. Well, then I decided that I didn't want to pay that money. So I went and I got this right here. It's called ON, Optimum Nutrition, Essential Amino Acid, Amino Energy, Energy Hydration. This shit right here, I threw that in instead of the Hyde stuff. And I started throwing up in the mornings. And I stopped taking it a couple days ago, and I've been fine ever since. This morning, I took some again because I thought, maybe I'm wrong. Let me try this out. Let me just see how my body reacts. I'm feeling sick again. All of a sudden, I think there's something wrong with Optimum Nutrition, so I won't be using them anymore. That shit is gross, I guess. I don't know. It could be fine, but I don't. Something is Something not good about that shit. So anyway, I'm going to pop some energy stuff. I'm going to go work out. I'm going to get swole AF. And we'll talk to you again soon. So you guys have a good day. It's not financial advice. I'm always right. I appreciate you guys. And thank you so much for stopping by. And we'll see you again very, very soon. Also, I forgot to say this. Crocky had a nice little breakout today. Let me show you that real quick. Crocky's up 52% on the day. Crocky is now going to be the point for a casino. So I would suspect that we're going to see a break. And by the way, it did exactly what I told you it was going to do when we told you it was going to do it. I told you, doobie-doobie-doo. We're going to break up here. We're going to get a break down here. We're going to break back up to the 236. Went a little bit over the 236. That was aggressive. Then it was going to break down a little bit further. And then we would get another retest. And boom, exactly what I told you was going to happen, happened. So I'm going to go take my victory lap. By the way, I only got $10 for this. So I think my $10 is now 70 or 80 or 90. So, you know, if you got in on Crocky with me in the beginning, then you're up. I'll tell you what X's it was. Okay. Cause I got 1 million tokens, which was about $10, and it is now $101, 10X. So I got a 10X on Crocky so far. By the way, if you throw $10 into every little meme coin, eventually one breaks out. You know what I mean? So now I have $100 at 100,000 market cap. If it goes to $1 million, I've got $1,000 at 1 million market cap. If it goes to $50 million, then $50,000. So I won't get rich off of it, but it'll be a nice win. So we'll see what happens there. All right. So you guys be good. We'll talk to you again soon. Remember, none of this is financial advice. I am just the most handsome talking head that you've ever seen. And you might be saying to yourself, no, that's Jake Gagan, bro. Or no, that's Khalil Underwood. Fuck those guys. It's me. All right, guys. You have a good day, and we'll talk to you again very, very soon.
I'm looking for the good life, good life.